I just want to take a minute to discuss one of our recent case studies with one of our national clients that we were involved in. We recently helped them on one of their water accounts for a location to recover $230,000 in fees back to their bottom line. What ended up happening with this location was the client recently added the water to our process for data management. Currently, before that, they had been only managing the electricity and the gas. I think discussing this with the client, one of the reasons that they added the water was pretty much not that they felt they'd recover or find savings in the water, because generally that's a pretty small cost to most companies, but just that all the utility bills should flow through the same process. So we took the water accounts on and we started managing the data for them. What we found in our process is when we ranked the locations based on cost and usage, the conclusion for one particular location was that it was actually higher cost than most stores. And when we delved into the usage amount, the water was 200 times greater usage than any other location. So the steps we follow, we have a number of procedures that we go through. So we contacted the utility, had the meter verified that it was correct, that it was the right meter for this client, and the utility side of things looked fine. So we sent out the plumber for this particular client. They dispatched their plumber, and he does a number of steps for us. He investigates lines and if there's any leaks, if the lines are flowing to our client's services. And what was discovered was that they actually were branching off and servicing other parts of the plaza that the client was located in. So we went back to the utility again, and this is a continuous back and flow conversation of investigation, and also got the landlord involved. And what the final result was the utility discovered that when the plaza was actually built, our client was the anchor client, meaning sort of the biggest client of the plaza that is opens up the location, and then they build the rest of the plaza and add other tenants in. So being the first client, the landlord would have put his meter in. It's transferred over to our client, which is more or less a bulk meter. And as the other plazas developed and clients move in, they add a second, third, fourth water meter onto those tenants. But what happened was the meters were installed, but they were never activated by the landlord or the utility. So for all these years, our client was actually paying the water cost for all of the plaza, which accumulated to, there was 20 tenants that were involved in this whole plaza. So in the end, the landlord and our client negotiated. The meters for the other clients were, the other tenants were activated. And from sort of day one going forward now, our client knows that they're paying for just their water usage. And the recovery between the landlord and our client that was negotiated was $230,000. Now, most people think water is a small portion of their overall cost. But what happened with this situation is the plaza was actually built 14 years ago. So if you look at it, the overages that they paid each year for 14 years ended up being $230,000. So a substantial amount that our client was able to recover.